President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi signed the final communique for Sudan's neighboring countries summit in Cairo, which provided an effective framework to peacefully settle the Sudanese crisis, in coordination with the other regional and the international tracks. The summit comes in light of President al-Sisi's efforts to end the conflict in Sudan, maintain its institutions, and decrease the repercussions of the crisis on the neighboring countries, as well as achieving regional security and stability. The details follow.
Leaders from Sudan's 6 neighboring countries met in Cairo on Thursday for the most high-profile peace talks since conflict erupted across the northeastern African country in mid-April. The summit was attended by the leaders of Ethiopia, South Sudan, Chad, Eritrea, Central Africa and Libya, in addition to the chiefs of the African Union Commission and the Arab League. In the final communique signed by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, participating leaders expressed deep concern about the continuation of military operations and the sharp deterioration of the security and humanitarian situation in Sudan. The leaders called upon warring parties to stop the escalation and commit to an immediate ceasefire to end the war and avoid the loss of lives of innocent civilians. They emphasized full respect for the sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity of Sudan, in addition to a non-interference in the country's internal affairs and non-interference of external parties in the crisis in a way that hinders efforts to contain the situation. The leaders further stressed on the importance of preserving the Sudanese state, its capabilities and institutions, as well as preventing disintegration and the spread of chaos. On the humanitarian scale, the leaders highlighted the significance of dealing with humanitarian consequences in a serious and comprehensive manner, taking into account the continuation of the crisis would result in an increase of displaced people and the influx of more fleeing citizens from the conflict to neighboring countries. They condemned repeated attacks on civilians and health facilities and called on the international community to make every effort possible to provide urgent relief aid in a way that alleviates severity of the serious repercussions. Addressing the summit, President al-Sisi said Egypt exerts its utmost efforts to stop bloodshed in the sisterly country. He reiterated Egypt's complete support and solidarity for Sudan till the end of the crisis. President al-Sisi also highlighted the negative repercussions on security and stability in the region and the world. The head of state noted that Sudan affects the whole world and neighboring countries in particular. He confirmed that Sudan's neighboring countries are the most understanding and knowledgeable about its complexities, which requires to unify their visions and stances to take constant decisions that contribute to resolving the crisis. The president pointed to the deteriorating humanitarian situation and the catastrophic circumstances which need immediate and sustainable cessation of military operations in order to preserve capabilities of the Sudanese people and the state institutions. Addressing the summit, African Union Commission Chairperson Musa Faki said the Sudanese crisis is affecting the security and stability of the region, pointing that a trilateral mechanism composed of the African Union, the United Nations and other partners was put to reach a solution. Faki stressed the necessity of an integral political dialogue to solve the Sudanese crisis, underscoring the importance of the role of neighboring countries in solving the crisis. For his part, Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abul Ghait called for stopping all military clashes to protect Sudan's security and unity. Abul Ghait stressed the necessity of keeping the Sudanese state institutions without being destroyed, adding that it was necessary to prevent any foreign intervention in Sudan's internal affairs.
On the sidelines of the summit for Sudan's neighboring states, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met the Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki. President al-Sisi asserted the Egyptian keenness on enhancing ties and cooperation with the Eritrean side in different fields. For his part, the Eritrean President said that he is looking forward to boosting ties with Egypt on all fronts, particularly in light of the successive challenges at the African Horn and the Red Sea regions. He hailed the Egyptian stances, aiming to achieve regional stability. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed in Cairo. The two sides renewed the mutual political will to enhance the bilateral ties at the political, economic and the cultural levels, emerging from a joint desire aimed at realizing the mutual interests, achieving prosperity for the two nations, and actively contributing in attaining peace and stability in the region, in addition to raising the two countries' capabilities to deal with the joint challenges. The meeting tackled the conflict in Sudan and boosting relations between Egypt and Ethiopia, as well as the means to resume the stalled negotiations over the Ethiopian dam file. In this respect, they agreed to begin the quick negotiations to finalize an agreement among Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia to fill and operate the Ethiopian dam, as well as exerting the utmost necessary efforts to reach the agreement within 4 months. Secondly, they agreed that throughout the negotiations period, Ethiopia clarified that during the time of filling the dam in the hydrological year 2023-2024, it would abide by not harming any interest for both Egypt and Sudan regarding the two countries' needs from water. Meanwhile, Sudan welcomed the outcome of Sudan's neighboring countries summit, which was held in Cairo. In a statement, the Sudanese government thanked Egypt and President al-Sisi for hosting the summit that aims at restoring stability and security in Sudan. The statement extended the appreciation to Sudan's neighboring countries for their support to the Sudanese people. Khartoum further expressed its keenness to cooperate with all the parties seeking to restore security and stability in the country. Minister of International Cooperation Rania Al-Mashat signed an agreement with the Asian Bank for Infrastructure Investment to finance Alexandria Metro Line at 250 million euros. The agreement stipulates to upgrade the Abu Qir railway lines to become an electric metro system. Meanwhile, Al-Mashat also signed another agreement during the visit to China with the Chinese Agency for International Developmental Cooperation to enhance the partnership between the two countries. And still in Egypt, the stock market indices soared, being bolstered by the purchasing operations by the Arab and the foreign investors. The main EGX 30 index soared 1.16%. The small and medium EGX 70 index added 1.06%. The more expanded EGX 100 index added 0.99%. The overall transactions and dealings within the session reached £2.1 billion.